Your aim as to this visit and what it means for you guys to be here in Guyana, knowing, where it all started.
First of all, it's a pleasure to talk to you. We've been on this partnership for 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
2 years now? 2 years. So it's of our interest that our partners are doing well. So this visit is to see how things are doing. We visit 2 farms today. See how the coconut plants are doing. See
the experience.
Yes. See if the farmers have any doubts, and see if the project is going well. And we have seen great things today. The nursery here is very organized. The coconut plants that we have seen are being well treated by the farmers, and the main goal here is to see everything.
Okay, thank you.
It's doing well.
Yes, considering, because I would have had the privilege of looking at a video from COHIBRA, and I saw acres of and lush green coconut plants and all of that. Considering where Guyana is right now, and of course President Ali and Minister Mustafa, along with Mr. Roopchand from Hope Coconut Estate, also is pushing coconut because it's such a lucrative crop, right,
Yes.
throughout the world. So considering all of that, and to what we would have seen, or what I would have seen in that video, where do you see Guyana, its position now and in the future maybe?
Okay, from what I've seen today, the soil here is great. And if the people that the farmers are working well, giving the plants the right treatment, with the management of the soil and the products they use, and that's why we're here too, to give the support to clarify any doubts. And then I see great potential because our products, our seeds, are very well proven. We export to Colombia, to Mozambique, and we are already seeing great results. So I don't see why it will be different in
Okay, great. I know you would have also met with Minister Mustafa this morning. Can any one of you, can you speak on how that meeting was and with the minister?
It was amazing because I knew the minister by Ricky. I received some from the minister. Yeah, my minister is not happy, but he was so kind, and I can advance to you that there's a new proposition to the COHIBRA farm receive farmers from Guyana to know the techniques and the management, so that this improve the knowledge disponible to the practice of the culture in Guyana. So just not giving the seeds, but giving the training and knowledge to make the best work that's possible here in Guyana. So as Layton said, why not? Guyana is the right way. You have a very nice guy and competent person in front of this project. So in few time, I'm sure that the coconut culture in Guyana will explode.
And I'm sure also with the seed nuts coming from Brazil, you all are also advising in terms of diseases and pests and so on as to how to control, correct?
Yes, correct. We want to give the support to advise in any way possible to how to treat the plants in terms of control of plagues and correct nutrients, because that's how you control plagues too. So of course.
Say something.
Yeah, I'd like to make a nice analogy. Guyana is buying a Ferrari of coconut seeds. You have already good pilots. So now a lot of engineers around this project will make this car runs very fast.
I love that.
Okay.
The way it was put. as it relates to agriculture and the agriculture sector, of course, I'm sure you guys will have known Guyana is known for its oil and gas now. But one of the things that President Ali, along with his administration, is pushing is agriculture and sustainability, not only for Guyana but the region at large. Can you speak to what this means in terms of also Brazil and throughout the Caribbean, in terms of we have a president, he's actually in Brazil as we speak, and we have a president who is not only pushing for his country, but he's also pushing agriculture for the region in itself.
It's the right vision for the development project. You cannot do by yourself. So if you can share knowledge, if you can share como é que a gente diria, riquezas naturais, natural resources, it's best for everyone. We are a poor country, we are a poor region, so together we are strong, no doubt.
I appreciate that. As it relates to the farmers, you were speaking in terms of some of the nurseries that you may visited to. For persons who may be a bit skeptical still when it comes to coconut, whether it's in the long run, is it going to be worth it or not? And is it really a lucrative crop? And are we taking a chance here? You have persons who are skeptical while we may see the positives. What would you like to say to those persons who may have the facility, may have the land space, want to get into it, but at the same time not too sure?
So it is a lucrative business for sure. We've been working with coconuts. My grandfather founded the company. He's been working with it for 40 years now.
Yeah.
So it's a consolidated business in our region, in Brazil, in the northeast. If it's treated right, the plant can produce up to. We have cases in Ceará, Brazil, of plants producing up to 500 fruits per year.
Yeah.
One tree.
One tree.
Yeah.
So that's why we come here to give the support, because we want you to do well. It's of our interest.
Correct. Is there anything that you would like to share? I haven't heard from you.
Tu quer falar alguma coisa? Tu fala, a gente traduz.
Só ia dizer que não só como negócio de grande escala, mas para o pequeno ele é muito bom, porque ele garante, né, uma renda, porque o coco dá coco todos os dias durante o ano todo, durante 50 anos. Então, né, para o pequeno produtor isso é sustentável.
It's a good business not only to the big farmers, but to the small farmers. It's a very interesting project. The tree starts to produce very fast, and it's a very lucrative business, and the costs are very low. So if you have a land, if you have disposal to work, it's very good business. No doubt.
Que dá durante 50 anos.
Yeah,
Todo dia tem coco.
50 a tree have 50 years of during. So if you treat the tree well, the tree will treat you well too.
Every day you have money.
Every day
you have coconuts for change for rice or to eat or anyway.
Understandable. Mr. Roopchand, as it relates
You
to
coming to me with a hard question.
as it relates to you know our position right now when it comes to the agriculture sector, and I mean for us to have representatives from COHIBRA, it's major only because we would have been pushing this for a while, meaning Minister Mustafa, yourself and others. Can you speak to their visit and what it means, not only for the farmers but for Guyana as a whole?
To give you a little background, when we started this program about 3 years ago, we didn't know where to go to improve the coconut industry. We never had any injection of new varieties in the system for the past 40 years. So through Cardi, we were put in contact with COHIBRA. We approached several other countries and companies, but the unwillingness they showed to share the resources with Guyana at the time was not encouraging. When we went to COHIBRA, they were very receptive. They were glad to help us. right? They provide us with two of the best varieties, I would say, in the world. And the good thing about it is that the climatic conditions here is compatible with ours, right? So that was a plus. From there we started, the government started to put the resources because they wanted to see this industry develop and thrive. And we have, over the past 3 years, our target was 3,000 acres. We are way above that. We have an increase of about 7,000 acres because of the supply of seed nuts from COHIBRA, which accounts to about over 100,000 to date. We started with just 1,000 the forest purchase. That was all we could have afforded. But this year alone, we already purchased 52,000, right, to the tune of $60 million. That's already here. We have to target 120,000 for this year. They are going to provide most of that, right? They are going to provide most of that because of the fact is that the product they are providing is responding positively in our situation, and it's coming to fruition now. They start producing. The variety, according to them, is a 3 years variety. We see it kicked in here, today they witness it. In 22 months and 28 months, it don't start producing, not 36 months, as 3 years as I said. It shows that Guyana, the soil here is very special, as my colleague mentioned here. So they themselves were surprised at the time frame where it produced here. So it's proved its worth and it's catching on. A lot of people now in Guyana only want the Brazilian varieties, which are the Brazilian Green Noir and the Brazilian Hybrid. So come next year also we plan, this year we have a target of 2,000 acres. Next year that will increase between 5,000 and 6,000, right? So the potential is there for us to source the seed. We can't produce the seed in Guyana at the moment because locally the demand for coconut water is having a negative impact on dry nuts. The farmer is not going to sell us dry nuts. It's more lucrative to sell coconut as coconut water. So we have a few and we have a shortfall. We are fortunate to have them giving Guyana priority when we made our request, because when you go to COHIBRA you have to join the line. As the guy said, they provide to other countries, they sell to other countries as well. They made a commitment to the minister this morning in no uncertain terms that Guyana will be given priority. So that's a good thing. It augurs well for us.
That's beautiful. Considering where we are now, Mr. Roopchand, and you would have known some 5 years ago, thereabout, under the previous administration, whole coconut industry was almost non-existent compared to where it is now. Can you speak to that under President Ali's leadership and of course Minister Mustafa as the Minister of Agriculture?
Alright, there's no secret here. When I took over this place, it was bankrupt. It was literally bankrupt. We started with only 5 bins, coconut seed bins as you see out there. We could have only purchased 1,500 seed nuts to start with. Today we have 10 nurseries in the country, can produce 216,000 seedlings per year. That's a major achievement, right? And we have to keep expanding based on demand, right? So the government intervention really propelled this industry and this initiative because they were very instrumental in implementing 2 programs. One is the National Coconut Sensitization Program, where we go out and train farmers. And COHIBRA now is going to help us with that, to share their technology with us under that program from next year. And we have the Coconut Seeding Decentralization Program, because this was the only nursery. Now we have 10. So people could go and choose which nursery is easy for them. It's more cheap, easily accessible, and in adequate amounts of high quality seeding. But without the government support, that couldn't have materialized. So it's a good thing for the industry. It augurs well for both the farmers and all the businesses that link to the coconut chain as well. So the government intervention has made this a reality, which we are seeing here today.
Thank you. Can you speak to young people's interest when it comes to farming? Because I know there was a stigma that was attached to agriculture in the sense of the older folks did that. But now we have young people in the midst who want to be solely a part of agriculture. And this is also something that Guyana is pushing right now, the government is pushing. So can you speak to that?
Yeah, well, I would like to encourage it because the government was wise enough to see the deficiency and the lack of interest with young people to get into agriculture with this, as you said, the stigma attached. It's kind of a dirty or muddy job, right? But it's not that. It's something enjoyable and it's very lucrative, right? It is a source of finances, secure finances once it kicks in. Not only coconut, agriculture as a whole, but coconut now is something. If you have a coconut, bearing coconut now, you could cash in, and there are many farmers who are cashing in now because of the high demand. They are the fortunate one. But they said, you know the saying, the right time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second right time to plant a tree is today. Right? So young people should get involved into agriculture generally. Right? It's a good thing.
It's a good way of life. It's a beautiful way of life.
Beautiful. Now this is an open question finally. Is there anything that I would not have asked that you guys would want to share across the board, please?
Let me flag that. One of the main reasons they came here is to see some of the loopholes we have, where they could help us, right? The thing, and they have identified spot on. They see spot on that we need improvement in training, right? The technical thing is lacking, is deficient here, and they're going to address that for us. We are very happy. So they're going to set up a program between Guyana and COHIBRA, exchange visit or training. That is what we need here. And since it's variety specific for them, they coconut, it would all go well as well, right? For that. So we're going to jump at that. That is the first thing. The second thing is that our demand for seed nuts is not going to decrease, it's going to increase significantly. Right? Last year our target was 50,000. This year is 120,000. Right? So that shows you next year is going to be 300,000 based on the projection. So they will have to play a critical role because other countries have approached us to provide seed nuts to grow in Guyana, but it's very climate sensitive. You have to be very careful with what you buy. Sometimes you bring, for example, somewhere from Asia, but when you plant it here, it doesn't grow, or it doesn't perform the way it should perform, right? So that is why we prefer to buy from, at the moment, from Brazil. We share the same kind of climate, of course, and soil type. Right?
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for this.
Thank
it was
you.
quite
Thank you.
insightful.
Thank you.
And
All